Hello, Flash.
Hello, Baria. How are you today on this nice Sunday? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh wow! I just realized I'm loud. I'm gonna walk away from the mic real quick. Hi, everyone on Speed Gaming.
We are loud.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me just fix that.
Welcome everyone to what is this? The second race of the Metroid Fusion tournament since we haven't had anyone since yesterday's race, right?
Nope.
I don't think we have. All right, so this is race number 2 of the 2025 Metroid Fusion Any Percent tournament. This is between nachocpa and Metroll. The race will begin momentarily. We're just getting some things set up on the background. We want to make sure both players' streams are up and running. So once everything is set, the racers will begin shortly. So hang in there. Hello, everyone, again on chat. Hopefully you enjoy this race. Do yourselves a favor and follow both of these runners. They play Metroid games, and they play them fast, and they will race to see who is faster. What are we having? I don't know if I'm allowed to do product placement. Let's just say it's a seltzer water. All right, I'll keep the brand quiet. It's a seltzer water in a can. All right.
Okay, I believe I've fixed our voices.
Yeah.
Let us know if the audio is a little off. But I think we can get our racers going here in just a second.
I believe so. Definitely looks good there. While we check the tourney scheduling tab here, keep in mind, everyone in the chat, there should be a few races coming up over the next few days. I am aware that Tuesday has a few. If you want to see more races, today is the 20th. We have 2 races on Tuesday the 22nd, 1 race on Thursday the 24th, and then another race on Friday, and then another race on Saturday. So we are getting booked up for this week. If you're a fan of Metroid Fusion, the first round is going to be a good round to watch because kind of like a March Madness tournament in basketball, the first round is going to be the most active with a lot of racers going at it. And Baria, this is a double elimination tournament, so whoever loses here isn't out of the woods.
That's right. They will go down to the lower bracket for another chance to compete.
So every racer here you'll see at least twice. So it's exciting to see here. Oh, there we go. Nacho practicing the low height ball spark. A lot of people prefer to just standard spark it, but Nacho really loves that morph ball spark. Love to see it. Barry, are you good at that? Morphing into the Shine Spark? I'm horrible at it.
Not there. I'm very good at it leaving Sector 4, but in that room, I've never even tried.
Look at it. That is amazing.
Looks like both of our racers are readied up.
Awesome. Good to hear there. So while they set up on their race time, chat, this is an any percent run. So the runners are going to go for not necessarily the minimum amount of items required because that's simply 1%, but a low amount. And they're just going to try to beat the game with as low of an item count as they're able to. And whoever gets the fastest time wins. So while that sets up, again, make sure if you want, you could give these racers a follow. Also give all of the Speed Gaming channels a follow because these races will not just be on Speed Gaming 1, but on 2, 3, and 4, I believe, from time to time. So you want to make sure you're following all of them. So when you get notified of any of these races, you'll be able to tune in. And if you are part of the Metroid Fusion community, check the tournament tab for more information on the tournament. If there's a certain race between 2 runners that you want to see, that is definitely the place to go do so.
All right, so our race has started, but it's just not on the screen yet. There it goes.
All right. And feel free, chat, when if you're watching, if there's any sort of delay between the 2 streams here, sometimes there's a little bit of a hiccup there. That will be fixed. So if you're watching one screen and it appears paused, don't worry. Both racers are active and running. So All right, while we look at them beginning, the first hard part of this run is literally the third room. It is the climb. Let's see how Nacho handles this. Going for a right side wall jump. Messes up along the middle, so opts for using the left wall. Gets through there in about 35 seconds. Metroll will be next. Both of these runners are on the bracket. I'm going to actually get their information here by checking the challenge bracket in just a moment, so hang tight for that. These are the 15th and 18th seeds, respectively. Nacho is number 15, and Metroll is number 18. As for their times on the leaderboard, I believe Nacho is roughly around, scrolling to get this information now, a 1-2x, if I was not mistaken here. There's so many names on the leaderboard, sometimes it's, running out. Barya, what do you think is going to be one of the telltale like signs that dictates this race in particular? Is there any fight? Is there any segment?
Well, I know that Nacho has quite an advantage as far as PB goes. Metroll just PB'd.
Okay.
Sorry, Metroll just PB'd. He got a 129.
129. Okay. And I believe
And
Nacho has a
Nacho
120.
has a 120, yeah. So it's gonna be tough. I think Nacho's gonna have to make some mistakes here. But, some major mistakes, some RNG. It's still gonna be tough for Metroll. Anything could happen though.
Of course. We've seen, we had a recent race between you, me, and several other racers, and I think it was a record for practice racers who died in the run. So, again, you got to run the race. You got to do it. Not trying to brag, chat, but Barya and I were the only ones who finished. So, yeah.
How
Take
many
that to the
people
bank.
were there? Maybe 7 or 8.
I believe it was 8 or 9, yeah. It was a good amount. All right, so the runners are on their way to their first item that they're going to collect. This is a missile. They got to talk to Adam. Adam will, of course, interrupt constantly. If you are new to watching these kinds of races, you may be wondering, why are the runners playing in Japanese? Well, simple. The characters on the screen, when Adam is talking us to death, just go by faster. And therefore, it is arguably the better way to watch or run the game, because this game's primary timing method is RTA. All right, both runners are entering the operations deck. Nacho a few seconds ahead here. Nacho's going to get his missiles at roughly, if we're counting beginning of melody, 3 minutes on the dot. And Metroll follows shortly after with likely a 3:09. There you go. So about a 9 to 10 second difference between the runners so far. They're about to enter their first boss room, while again, our computer AI program friend Adam proceeds to guide us all the way through. And this is one of the big interesting parts about Metroid Fusion compared to other Metroid games. It's not a non-linear game. Everyone follows the same path. Give or take 1 or 2 different rooms. No one's doing any sort of sequence breaking here, because the game really makes sure you can't do that. So
That's right. There's only a few sequence breaks that are possible, and none of them get you anywhere.
yeah. So ideally, if you want to be fast, you just play the game optimally. And by optimally, we mean really optimally. And that's the beautiful thing about Fusion. There are so many small things that add up. You'll see these runners attempt to shoot as they land off a somersault onto a platform. That is called shot canceling. That just speeds up the time for Samus to move, because her... how do you describe it, Barya?
Well, you break spin with shot. You can also use up. You can use down, actually. Nobody does that, but you can use down, but you're just breaking spin early, and so you land slightly earlier.
I see. And I believe we only have one beam for both of these runners so far. Nacho does get a roll. Metroll opting to go for the hidden energy tank.
And Nacho went for a double, but did not hit it. It's about a 354.
354?
Or sorry, 454.
354 would be legendary.
Yeah, that's door entry time.
All right, Metroll still fighting the core. Coming in, breaks it and absorbs at roughly 511, 512.
Yep.
So in terms of RNG, both runners have 1 beam and 1 roll. They got the morph ball, so now they will be moving into Sector 1.
I believe both of our runners will be picking up main deck missile on the way out, so they should have 25 missiles for Sector 1.
Yeah. Most runners, I believe, go for the navigation missile. Are you one who skips it?
I get it. I get it now. I didn't
I
used
see.
to.
Yeah. For runners who risk not getting that missile, they're essentially relying on Sector 1 to go damageless because your farms work in tandem with the amount of available health you have. So if you have full health, you'll always get missiles. But if you don't have full health, you're going to want the extra 5 missiles that missile tank that Nacho just grabbed will provide. And I strongly believe Metroll will get this as well. And good point by Darkspy in the chat here. That's the thing, too. These runners are lower on the bracket, so they're probably not going to go for the exact minimum that some of the top runners in the bracket will get. So they might grab a few other items, of course. As they fine-tune their skill in Metroid Fusion, no doubt there will be some optimizations that occur along the way. Even Barya and myself, we grab different items because of our skill level differences. So there's not a set formula for any percent. There's a widely popular total of usually 3 to 4 energy tanks and 45 to 50 missiles. That is the range. But again, not set in stone. There's no requirement that it has to be that for these runners.
Yep. For a while, people thought that 45 was optimal. People do still think that. Some people think 50 is optimal now, though, after some experimentation with the plasma segment and the space jump Yakuza fight. And then 4 E-tanks is just preference. It's just for safety. 3 E-tanks is optimal, but only if you go for doubles on the wave core.
Otherwise, you could probably just go for 1 or 2 energy tanks and just make sure you're really good with your movement, not taking any damage.
Yep.
So these runners are now in Sector 1. Their objective is to break 5 stabilizers that are being corrupted by X parasites. Nacho's in the first room. Each one of these parasites is going to need 3 missiles to break. So Nacho moves in, gets a good pattern, shoots 3 missiles, gets the green X, which is good. He'll be able to get another green X as well, and have 23, which is a good amount heading into this next stretch. Remember, missile count is crucial here.
Oh, it looks like he's going for a safety E-tank here. He may be picking up 5.
Yeah, that's an energy tank that I opt to get as well. So that's a good energy tank, if especially you're going to try to go for an SAX skip later in the run. We'll see if he chooses to do that. Metroll goes for 21 missiles, which is also a good amount. Ideally, you want at least 20. All right, so Metroll's also going to get this safety E-tank as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many Metroll grabs total. It may be quite a bit, which is totally fine when you're getting into the game.
Mm-hmm. Moving now into Pirate
I grabbed
Ball.
like 7 for a while.
Oh, my first run, I think I had 8.
Yeah, I started out with a lot.
Yeah, I go for those ones really out of the way, so I get it. Metroll now in the second. Oh, does the ledge climb jump? I don't even do that.
Nice.
I'm very scared to do
smooth.
that. It was really smooth. Good movement there. Kills the Hornode. Has 14 missiles, which is good.
Not sure about to enter Pirate Climb.
Let's see how Nacho handles this room while Metroll enters the 4th stabilizer.
This missile count is a little low. Should be fine. Unlucky on the farms.
Metroll, excuse me, missed 2 missiles on that core. So Metroll's now entering this room with the same amount of missiles that Nacho had. Wall jumps, gets the... Oop, can break through one of these pirates. Almost had it. It's going to be a tough room to do optimally due to the space of the ladders here.
Yeah,
in the meantime,
this one is really hard.
Nacho getting 0 beams on the most notorious eye door in the game. Love to see that.
That is the hardest eye door in the game. It's the worst one. Because there are only 2 that you cannot one-shot, and that one you have a small space to work with.
I respect Nacho going for the double attempts. Missed them, but was definitely trying for the setup. So Nacho, if you're listening, good on you for at least trying it.
Metroll got a frame-perfect crumble jump on accident there.
Love that.
Unlucky.
Oh. Varia, can you imagine getting this kind of luck on eye doors? I would love it.
Yeah, what, Nacho's at 1 beam right now?
Nacho's at 1 and Metroll's at 2. Metroll going for a double strat that is a little tight, but definitely possible. Or is it just the
double
safer?
strat is frame perfect.
Ooh, I see. All right. Goes for the 4 singles instead and grabs at a 1053. Nacho now going for the out-of-the-way stabilizer. Many beginners who run this game may think to go for this one second, but because it is out of the way, you want to enter this stabilizer last. Ideally, it's the last one you want to do.
I definitely got it second for a while when I first started.
You know what? Better to get it second than to go to the nav room when forgetting it.
That's very
Because
true.
Adam
There's
will tell
nothing
you.
stopping you from doing that.
Yeah, Adam will shame you into going back saying, Samus, you can't do basic math. That's not what Adam says, but that's pretty much how you feel after the fact.
Yeah.
All right, Metroll now in the final stabilizer room. Nacho entering the main lobby of Sector 1. Ooh, oh, nice recovery there.
That was close.
Yeah, because those crumble blocks can be a little slimy. You can fall through and then you'd have to enter all the way around again.
I would argue that they're very slimy.
Yes. I would 100% agree there. All right, so both of our runners are now moving ahead to Sector 2. A big skill push is going to occur, or a skill difference is going to happen here because of just how much harder the enemies in Sector 2 hit and how tighter the movement is in some of these rooms. So it'll be interesting to see. Ideally, you don't want to hit those red caterpillars, also called Zoros, a single time, because they can really ruin not just momentum in one room, but they can also indirectly, well, not indirectly, they directly affect patterns, because the slower you are in a room, the less likely you're going to deal with a pattern that you're probably practicing to try to memorize. So enemy placement might be in a different spot, because the pushback in Metroid Fusion is, it's pretty rough. You're losing about a second every time you take damage, so you really don't want to do that.
Yeah, the enemies hit hard, and one thing about this game is that it definitely rewards consistency the most. Because like you were saying, if you do rooms consistently, the enemy patterns, you know, you'll be used to them. And also with the RNG, you need to play consistently so that when you finally get good RNG in a run, you can take advantage of it.
You can keep the Schnitzel Sarnies, Dark Spy. It's perfectly fine, unless you can kind of fly it over across the Atlantic to my house. I appreciate the sentiment. Nacho now in Sector 2. Kills one Zoro. Gets a nice pattern here with that Zoro. Can he dodge this next one? Perfect. He hits the X Parasite and goes through. This next one's a little tight.
Ooh. Yep, he missed the double. You need 2 missiles to kill that second one because your charge shot's not ready, but it's kind of a tight window if you're trying to hit it with 2 missiles without stopping.
It's a tight enough timing that even the most experienced top runners are occasionally going to hit those Zoros. It's a very tight window.
We miss it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to speak for you, but I'm pretty sure, right?
Oh, no, I definitely... I mean, I could do a Sector 2 to data room damage list, but usually I'm hitting one, and it's usually that second one. Nacho now approaching the data room. Metroll approaching security. Hits the double on the second.
Perfect. No frame perfect jump.
There we go. Metroll trying to hit the wall jump here. 1, 2, almost had the third. Once you start hitting these wall jumps, it is the most satisfying thing. And then you combine it with shot cancels, and then the movement becomes crisp. It is one of the most beautiful parts of this run.
I love the movement in this game. It's like surprisingly extremely fluid once you get the hang of it.
Yeah, I can agree there. And I also like the sound design too. The way missiles sound, especially when they're upgraded.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just perfect. Nacho now in a maze here, trying to finagle around the Zoros, doing a pretty good job at it, and Metroll is entering data room as we speak. All right, gets the bombs at roughly 15 4x. I believe Nacho was around 14, so there's about a minute of time between the two runners, probably a little bit more at this point. The next boss is Zazabi, a boss that is notoriously hated in the Fusion community because of, again, the RNG, which is something every Metroid Fusion player complains about. Rightfully so, by the way.
Yeah, Zazabi has a big RNG swing. Like, you can lose a lot of time in just Zazabi. Because, like, you can reasonably get past the first two eye doors, but once you get to Zazabi, you really need to get some decent luck. Or you're going to lose. You can lose like 20 seconds. It's crazy between the eye door and Zazabi.
That's right. This boss that Nacho's about to enter the room can jump a minimum of 3 times without opening its mouth to a maximum of 12. And if you combine it with a few beams on the eye door, it can add up. Nacho now at 3 beams total. Metroll catching up in the big green Zora room. Let's see how Zazabi works here. We count jumps when Zazabi doesn't open its maw. So that's a jump right there. That's not. So that's a 1 jump so far. Up gets absorbed by Zazabi. Has to spam bombs to get out of the way.
Ooh, he didn't get the 2 hits in. So the way Zazabi works is it doesn't really have HP in the traditional sense. It goes by how many projectiles hit it. So you need to hit it with like a charge and a missile or 2 missiles on each round. And then the last one, when it's at its minimum height, which is like the 4th round, it's 4 projectiles.
I believe he's now at
opening.
5 jumps. 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 jumps. There we go. Metroll not getting...
9 is not great. It's kind of unlucky. Metroll getting a 4 beam straight up, and then I don't know what happened, but he didn't manage to...
Yeah, I think there was a miss there of one of the charge beam shots, so I think that was 6 beams on Zazabi. Nice high five between the runners. You love to see it. Let's see how many jumps we get here. How does Zazabi? 1, 2, 3.
So now I'm going to take a guess and say that Nacho's not sack skipping.
Unless he does hundo skip. 3 energy tanks does allow that, but let's see.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, he might be doing hundo skip.
Beautiful. Without the save as well. Love to see it.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so that's hundo skip because normally in any percent outside of a race setting, or like if you're just, you know, doing it for safety purposes because you're a little newer to the run, you would never have 3 E-tanks. I mean, some people do actually run 3 E-tanks to this point for a long time, but generally you don't have 3, so you only see that strat in hundo. The other, like the normal sack skip, is harder.
Yes, that absolutely is. And I do believe we'll see some of the top runners attempt it. Whether or not they save is up to how much they want to risk their run on such a simple trick. But you may see a lot of runners, myself included, just kind of wait it out if they don't save. Because at that point, the time is pretty much identical. You know, I think my personal splits will dictate whether or not I do it because, if you're running against an actual personal best, you might want to try to take those risks.
I don't know. I don't think Metroll is going to hundo skip here.
Let's see what Metroll does.
I could be wrong. Oh,
All right.
Yeah, he's just teasing.
Metroll got my hopes up for a second there. Oh, I see what Metroll's doing. Just kind of closely following along. Perfectly fine to do in this situation. Once the SAX shoots the door, which definitely did, Metroll can run right through.
Fell down on accident. That's
Oh,
you can
hate when
fall
that
all
happens.
the way down this room from the top if you like know how to do it, or if you get unlucky.
At that point, that's probably an instant reset on my end, just because if you fall from the very top, that hurts your pride. It's
Yeah,
not
but if you
something
get sub 16, are you resetting? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'll just say up, easy time save for the next run.
Metro getting stuck on these wall jumps for a second here. I think that gap is probably messing with him. A little gap above him.
The wall jumps in that room are a little finicky if you're not used to them at first. Once you get used to them, they become relatively easy. But having single tiles can be a little difficult. More difficult than if you had multiple tiles, obviously, on a wall-to-wall jump.
When you go to a wall jump, the game is checking the bottom of Samus's hitbox. So if you think you're on like the wall, but the bottom of Samus's hitbox is like on a gap, you just won't wall jump. So we got Nacho now going through Sector 4, been pretty clean so far, but he does have low health from the sack skip. And there are some ouches and crabs in this next room, so hopefully we don't have any incidents.
All right. There we
Take
go.
it pretty careful. Yep.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that, especially when you're trying to preserve health, because again, the ouches do, I think, the same amount that Zora's do, probably a little bit more. It's roughly around 45.
Yeah, they hit pretty hard.
There we go. Nacho moving into the Morph Tunnel, where we'll see Saris as Metroll enters Sector 4. This is Saris's breeding tank. I believe if this is not the corpse, it's a shed skin. I was always curious. What is that? Is that the corpse of the original Saris?
I thought it was the original skeleton.
Ah, that makes a little more sense.
Oh, I think Nacho he's bumped into the door twice. He might die here. He died to the eye door.
He did.
So what he did was he wasn't careful with his health and touching the eye door. The eye door does a lot of damage when you don't have Varia suit. When you have Varia suit, the eye door does like no damage. It does like 9. But yeah, he only could afford 2 hits of jumping into the eye door, and then he had 2 health and got hit by a beam. So that's really unfortunate.
That is a shame, yeah, because he did. Yeah, if you don't hit the eye door there, like you said, each beam does 10 damage. You can take a maximum of 40 and be fine there. I wonder if Nacho is going to reset or if he's calling it quits there. In the meantime, we're going to see how Metroll can handle this next chain block.
He DNF'd in the race room.
All right, he did DNF. So Nacho is conceding the race to Metroll. So congratulations to Metroll. You win this race. I believe Metroll is probably still going to try to run this out. We'll see what happens. We're switching audio now to Metroll.
Yep,
see how Metroll handles the Saris fight here. So the health difference is definitely a big deal here, obviously, because Metroll didn't go for the SAX skip. So having 462 health, obviously the eye door is not going to provide the same kind of issue here. Let's see how Metroll handles this. I see. That's probably what happened with Zazabi's door, Baria. I believe the charge beam was shot at distance and the flare didn't connect, but no beams there.
If he knows that you can one-shot it.
I'll gladly tell him after the race. There we go.
Right, that shot looks good.
A direct shot there. Let's see if Metroll can 2-round Saris. Almost had it. Almost
Not
set up
quite.
really well for that pattern. Could probably 3-round Saris here. Let's see what
I
happens.
think he's
All
going
right.
for a missile. It should kill.
Ooh.
Oh no, just barely not enough.
It's probably like 5 units of health from dying.
Yeah. You could see that Saris was already in that black and red state when he hit that missile, but that doesn't mean that it's one shot.
All right, setting up here. As long as you don't fall into the water. All right, let's see. Moving up. And
Definitely fallen into the water a few times.
yeah. Well, the good news is, in many cases, you can still do the fight. It's just a lot harder to evade the X-Parasite, obviously, due to the fact that the core can do a lot of damage, and it's harder to avoid because, you know, your movement is submerged until you get gravity. Oh, good attempt. That low height is definitely difficult.
Looking like Metroll is on a pretty good PB pace here. Maintaining pace.
It's good to see. Let's see here. I'll actually check Metroll stream myself and see how it's going there. Yeah, so Metroll is currently, very close to pace, maybe a few seconds ahead, if these splits are PB, which I believe they are.
They are, yep. It's actually, he's running against the PB that he got right before this race.
Ah, that's really good. Perfect. So, really encouraging for Metroll if the run can continue at a good pace here. That's the thing too, chat. If a DNF happens, many times our runners are going to want to finish, especially if they're on a good pace. And again, you have to finish a race anyways to win. We can't have 2 DNFs, obviously. So power through if you can.
Yeah, that's the thing. Had Nacho kept going and just hit yes on the game over screen, he could have played until Metroll won or died.
Yeah,
So
that's the thing.
If Metroll dies later in the run, I think Nacho's probably gonna be wishing that he didn't DNF.
Mm-hmm. And we've actually had instances, I believe last year, where we had 2 runners in a race together. Both didn't DNF, but they died at separate times. And so the run continued until one person finished. Obviously, it's a bit more of a chore for the runners when it was a hundo, which is what it was last year. So when it comes to any percent, you don't necessarily have to worry too much about that being an issue. But now for Metroll on Metroll side, I believe, it's Sector 4 is done. So it's Sector 3 that's next.
Yep, so in Sector 3, we'll be grabbing the green security, level 2. And going to fight our first non-X-Parasite enemy. Smart
That's right.
refill there. Oh, whoops, I was watching a little bit ahead because I
was about to say, I was like, what refill?
Well, I have a feeling that Metroll is going to refill before entering Sector 3.
That would be an amazing prediction if that's absolutely true. Let's see if it happens. Nacho is requesting an un-DNF. Is that something that's possible to do in this circumstance?
He can... Yeah, I mean, we can just use Metroll's timer because it's the race room timer. I don't know if I can I think you can unforfeit, actually, in the race room.
Nacho, check the race time website if you're listening to the stream. See if you can unforfeit and then restart a run there if you're able to. In the meantime, now we're watching Metroll go into Sector 3. Metroll's going to try to... Look! Wow, Metroll refilled. Amazing psychic skills here by runner and admin of the Fusion server, Baria. I wish I had that kind of mental skill.
Yep,
almost
like
had it.
Unforfeit. So he will be continuing.
There we go. So we're going to see, thankfully, Nacho start again.
So now this is a little more interesting because Metroll just has to play very safe.
Mm-hmm.
If he can manage to not die to any, difficult boss or whatever, then he will take this. But if he does die, Nacho will be much further into the game.
Yeah. Well, that's what we'll see here with these two runners. Remember, the RTA difference between the two is around 9 minutes, so just do the math that way. Metroll is now going to climb into the stretchy climb and grab the one unavoidable missile. You're either really good at speed boost, or clipping out of bounds, which is not allowed in this category. There you go. Almost gets the bomb before Bob. Be a nice little time save there.
Clipping out of bounds would be allowed in this category. It's just not possible.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
well, correct me then. I thought it wasn't allowed. Oh, it's because you have to play with a different version of the game. Very true.
Yep. If you play on English, you can do as many clips as your heart desires on any percent, hundo. But on Japanese, they patched it, so you can't even clip out of bounds.
Yeah. The problem here is, well, you have to deal with the English text, which is naturally 3 minutes RTA slower.
Yep.
Nacho going and resetting the run now. Nacho doing the climb room, doing much better than the first time around. Just of note. All right, Metroll now triggering the boss fight. You don't necessarily need to see those boulders fall, but that's always a good confirmation that the boss fight is triggered. Let's see how Metroll handles this. All right, I'm gonna go for the safe strat with the ladders. 1, 2. Oh, misses a few missiles, but the boss is always killable because of the presence of charge beam. Now, if we're playing this randomizer-wise, then it becomes a different story. All right, gets a few missiles down here. I believe it's 10 super missiles to connect. So Metroll has plenty of ammo to work with, even if some of these missiles are missing. Nice. Metroll seems to have a rhythm here with this fight, which is good to see. Not bad. There you go. A few missiles tinked, but that's perfectly fine. There are opportunities for Metroll to refill along the way. In the meantime, Nacho is now back at the navigation room in the main deck, pretty much getting talked to by Adam once more. We're going to see Adam pretty much talk Samus to death again about what she must do with the missiles.
Metroll taking some good damage here.
And see, this is what we're talking about right here, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that Metroll will die in the run, but
he's gonna get the energy tank.
Oh, that is actually a great idea. And that's a good example of what you were talking about with playing safe. That energy tank and pretty much negates all the damage he was doing. And because he has full health, he gets some green X along the way, which is...
Yeah, he has such a lead at this point that it's very smart to go for as many safeties as you please, because there's just... he just has to finish the game. That's it.
And judging by splits, there was a little bit of a time loss there, but considering Metroll's time on the leaderboard, this is easily recoverable. I've seen Metroll play Dread, which is a different game, but Dread, in my opinion, is harder to run, at least in my opinion, and Metroll's really good at it. So apply that game sense here, I believe Metroll will be just fine. Nacho now entering the operations room. I was about to call it habitation. Wrong deck. Close enough. It's up there.
It is up there. It is up there at the top of main deck. See if we'll be able to see if Nacho's luck can continue with the eye doors and whatnot.
Yeah, there was definitely some good RNG there. I stopped tracking after his first death in Sector 4, but the RNG was horribly against Metroll. Up until Ceres, there were, and I didn't count Ceres's beams.
Oh, Metroll just went down the wrong elevator.
Oh, he did! Uh-oh. Close. Hey, you know what? It happens to the best of us.
Oh, he hasn't
I don't
realized.
think he's noticed.
Oh, no.
It's good that Adam at least warns you. Go to Sector 6. There you go. Hey, listen, it's happened to me. You know what I've done before? I've gone into an elevator some strange reason, I end up pressing up again. I've done it at least once.
Pressing
you go
up
down
on a down elevator?
Yep, and then I end up going right back up, and then I got to go down a second time. It's happened.
Oh,
Listen,
no.
that's one. Listen, I love Metroid Fusion. It's one of my favorite Metroid games. But if there's one thing about the game, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's more of a nitpick. It's that a lot of these rooms, Metroid messages us on the chat. I went to Sector 2. Don't worry, it happens to the best of us. I was gonna say a lot of these rooms kind of look identical, so you might just, your brain might just not process it for a moment, and then you might go into the wrong room. Remember, our world record holder, Scotty, 2 years ago, went to Ice Missile twice, right? So if our literal best runner can do it, anyone can do it.
There was actually at one point a 100% world record from Scotty that contained him going down the wrong elevator and then back up.
Wow. And that was a world
he
record.
Still got the record.
Goodness. Us as a community, we need to unite. All jokes aside, as the run continues, Metroll is now in Sector 6, has 6 missiles, which is good. I think, was a refill? Did a refill happen? Because I remember Metroll was a little behind on missiles after the box fight.
I don't know if he refilled, because you would think he would have way more missiles. I mean, he got the energy tank. He probably farmed in the first room a little bit.
All right, grabs the 6th energy tank here. Metroll now entering SAX Skip Part 2, while Nacho is going into the elevator for the main deck. Or not the main deck, the sector hub. There's our creepy twin. Everyone does this room a little bit differently. Some people like filling up all the bomb slots. Some people like doing patterns. Other people like just staying still.
Oh, I've never seen anybody avoid the power bomb, and that was interesting. I
got a little bit of
figured
a
it
long
would
door there,
still
too.
hit you at that range, but I guess not.
Gets through that nicely. Here's the thing, right? Before I learned that the power bomb in this game does like 20 damage, I was terrified of that attack. So I would go to the very far left of the room.
Ah, yeah, under the little lip.
When you speedrun this game a few hundred times, you start realizing, wait, the power bomb only does 20 damage to you. That's right, it only does 20 damage to Samus. Talk about all-powerful. Let's see how many shots Metroll gets here on Beach Ball. We call it Beach Ball just because it's big and it's round, like a beach ball. That's not the official name, but some people call it that.
Some people call it that. That's true.
Do you call it Beach Ball or do you call it Megacore like a normal person?
No, I call it Megacore.
Okay, so. Up. There we go. Metroll taking a bit of damage from some of these core hits, but that's perfectly fine. I believe he's trying to set up to get a good placement there on the X, and grabs it. Congratulations, Metroll. You now have the ugliest suit in Metroid history. Oh, look at that Varia suit, chat. I want everyone in the Speed Gaming chat to look at that suit and admire its hideous colorway.
Yeah, I like to pretend that it's a thermal, like thermal camera type pattern.
Oh, I see.
Since it kind of looks like that, and it also, protects you from heat gold.
Oh, we have some people who like it in the chat. Hey, listen, any opinion is welcome here. That's interesting, though. I love it. I believe you are the third person I've ever seen mention that they love that suit, Drafterator.
I'm not a hater of it. I don't
You're
like
not?
I don't like the version of it in the cutscene on the animals elevator. But I think it looks fine because to me it just looks like a thermal image pattern.
I see. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, you know what? With that logic, yeah.
I think that
Ah,
it
felt
was probably intentional because of the effect of Varia suit.
it might be, and also because SAX has the base volume, have to be some sort of color change. You know what's
Right.
interesting is in the fusion mode of Samus Returns, the Metroid 2 remake on 3DS. Do you know what color her Varia suit is? It's green.
Interesting.
It's green. It's got
You
the
say
same
Samus Returns?
Samus Returns, the 3D at the first Mercury Steam game.
Yeah.
It's green. Yeah, it's
You know
very
in
interesting.
Metroid 2 what color it is?
White and black.
That's right.
Oh, monochrome. Bari and I are good friends outside of this little channel here, but Bari and I also disagree on a lot of things. He and I will discuss in great detail why we think one version of Metroid 2 is better than the other.
Yeah,
But
Metroid 2 Return of Samus is the best version of Metroid 2.
so see, he likes the OG. I like the 3DS. Some people like the fan-made version of the game. A lot going on.
I mean, I
Metroid 2
like
is a divisive game.
AM2R. I like AM2R.
I see. I've still never played it.
You should.
I probably should.
It's a good time. It's a hard game.
I mean, Dread and Samus Returns are hard. If we can handle that.
I want to say it's harder than any of the other 2D Metroid games, honestly.
Honestly, I think that would, from what I've heard from some people say, and from some of the gameplay I've seen, I remember in the relay, was it last year? April last year, I believe there was an AM2R race in the relay. That was very impressive, and it looked difficult what these racers were doing.
It is, yeah. It's pretty hard. All right, so we got Metroll entering Sector 5 now.
All right, so Metroll's in Sector 5. Nacho is clearing Sector 1. Again, after his death in Sector 4 to the eye door, all he needs to do is kind of hope that Metroll dies here, and then Nacho has to finish.
Yeah.
So kind of like what you hear in playoff games of professional sports, Metroll controls his destiny here. Again, like Bari and I were saying, play safe, don't die, and you should win this race, because the difference between the two runners is roughly 9 minutes. So Metroll having, 30-minute advantage right now means that there's about a 10-minute leeway that Metroll can provide while keeping the race close. So 20 minutes.
Here we have lots of waivers. Flash incorrectly says that waivers are the worst enemy when it's really the puffers, but they're pretty bad.
There we go. Told you we disagree. Oh, Metroll got scammed by the waiver. You could discuss what that means.
I don't think he went for the charge shot. Basically, that waiver that just bumped him prevents him from getting a speed boost. And he didn't get it again. So you have to charge shot it while running if it's in your way. About half the time, it won't be in the way at all. And then other times, it'll be in your way and easy to hit. And then other times, it'll be in your way and difficult to hit because there's a blue X there that blocks your shot.
Yep. It took Metroll 3 attempts there. So I think this was like a really good, accurate representation of what Bari was just talking about.
We actually saw all 3 of those patterns where it's not in your way, it's in your way, but it's easier to hit, and it's in your way, but it's difficult to hit. So you got through though.
All right. Here is the difference though. Metroll is, again, smart for having taken those energy tanks, because even though the enemies don't do a lot, it adds up when you mess up that room a few times.
Yeah, because you can
just play safe.
He's taken a lot of damage, so it's very good that he grabbed those. He actually has the same amount of health as Nacho right now.
Oh, absolutely true. They both have 199. By the way, Nacho is in Sector 2. For those joining the race just now, the Nacho died right before Ceres. So that's the point we're looking to see, hoping that the gymnast room and points beyond don't give him as much grief as they did before. Although I think gymnast room was good. It was the eye door in particular, right?
Yeah, he did hundo sack skip. So he only had 100 health or 99 leaving Sector 2. And then he had about 80 something, I believe, getting to the eye door. And then he bumped into the eye door a couple times.
Oh, nice evasion there. Almost touched the Zorro.
Yeah. was close. All right, Metroll's got the ice missiles. No forgetting about those.
For the
Collected
runners,
a couple blue X.
for the fans in the chat, if you don't think you got ice missile, when you go back into the glass room, your telltale sign is whether or not nightmare spawns. If Nightmare's not running around the backdrop, you didn't get ice missile.
I'm liable to just fire a missile even if I'm climbing on the ladder.
That too, exactly. And then you'll see you don't shoot the ice. Yep. What's more insulting? Going to ice, though. It's got to be going to ice twice because you're blocked by the gate. That's got to be the more painful one for sure.
I've never gone to ice twice. That is...
I've gotten ice twice. What else have I done? There's been some silly things that you could do where it involves lapping, essentially. I think I've gotten power bomb twice. I think that's what happened. After you escape SAX, I just went right back there. That definitely happened. Not during a race, but during an actual solo speed run.
All right, so Metroll got some blue X's, so his health's looking a little better here. Top route, wow.
Okay. Is this faster?
No, but it's really close.
I see.
I believe it's like optimally, if you do both optimally, it's like 10 frames or so slower.
The fact that the difference is only 10 frames is quite interesting. I never thought that. I always just thought top route was drastically.
I could have just lied. It might be barely faster optimally, but the thing is, you have to do it really well because you're gonna get hit by the projectile in the next room from the Zila.
Yeah.
So you have to be extremely fast, or else you'll get hit by that.
All right, so here is Metroll going into emergency. Metroll doesn't have a lot of health. We'll see if Metroll fills here before moving into the lower part of Sector 3. Nacho is now in Sector 2, going deeper and deeper.
Refill.
I think it's a good idea.
There's definitely some spots where you can take some big damage in Sector 3, and 6 minutes is more than enough time for him to get to the boiler. Not going to go for it,
opt without it. Let's see how he does. Gets the ideal spark this time instead of having to run around, so that's good. Nice quick morph there.
Avoiding damage is going to be the name of the game for this emergency.
Ooh, didn't start with enough. It didn't look like Metroll had started. There you go. That's the right visual cue. I'll be able to go through it now. All right.
Hopefully he knows how to avoid the stretchies here.
There you go. Yeah.
I did a variation of that for a long time where you just skip landing on the platform that he landed on, and it's not much slower, but there's no real reason to do it once you know how to do the other strat.
As long as you have 4 missiles, you could do the ideal strat, which is just spamming them to 2-shot both. Ooh, this is one of the things we're worried about.
So a trick with these ladders is you can actually hold up and left the whole time, and if you get hit, you will re-grab the ladder every time. So it looks like he just didn't quite know that. But yeah, if you hold up while you're climbing forward, you will re-grab if you get hit.
Nanamiye did 48 damage there, so yeah. Metroll's just got to be a little careful.
Hit very hard. He could go through that.
Yeah, I don't think he knows that he could go through it, so he's probably just going to opt for a safer... Ooh.
Right. Yeah, this is why I said he should refill, because these enemies hit way too hard.
Oh, I love the strat.
I like that. The fire here from the Novas can hit you. There's a stretchy right above him. Okay.
Playing it safe. Metroll is making this very entertaining. A little scary, too.
Please freeze it.
Oh, he doesn't have an ice missile.
Oh, no.
He can't freeze it. There you go.
All right, here we go.
Get the missiles? Oh, perfect. Okay.
We're not out of the woods yet. We're getting there.
Oh, this is a fun nail biter of an emergency.
Okay, nice green X.
There we go. Oh, I see what he's trying to do. Set up with the hopper. Oh, these hoppers do a lot. Okay.
It's
He's
so
got this.
close.
Gets the green X. So he has missiles now. Just don't get hit by those darn hoppers. All right, he should be fine if he farms the X here, which most runners should do.
Please don't touch it. Okay,
There we
nice.
go. All right, chat, we could soothe a little bit. We don't want our runners to die in this race, of course. We want them to, whew.
That was close.
There we go. But again, Barry, like you said, 6 minutes is more than enough time. Even with the mistakes Metro was making there, still 3 minutes to spare before the explosion. So
yeah, you
wide
can
beam is now
definitely
acquired.
take your time there.
During that nail biter of a segment, Nacho had a decent coming out of Zazabi SAX escape. And if you noticed, I don't believe he did the Hundo escape because he only has 2 energy tanks. So I think he's opting to give himself more health in case he has that issue again in Sector 4.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I personally will not be going for sack skip at all, and I normally do the standard sack skip because it is slightly faster and requires you to have less HP. You leave with full health if you do it right. But yeah, it's just. And I'm very consistent with sack skip, but I will not be touching it during any of my races because
unless I save
one misinput is just the death of you.
And in my eyes, considering the stop to save is taking roughly the same amount of time that it would take for the skip, if you fail it and have to recharge, I'm probably just going to wait as well. Because again, it's a race setting here. If it's a personal best and you're playing by yourself, obviously you're going to take more risks. But in a situation like this, you really don't want to put yourself under too much pressure, even if it is a trick that an experienced runner could do rather easily. All you need is one bad misinput, and all of a sudden a run can turn into a nightmare.
Pun intended?
I guess pun intended, because Nightmare can kill a run as well. Nightmare's killed many runs of my own.
All right, so Metroll can kind of breathe now and relax for a bit because the next segment of the game just involves sort of walking around.
Yeah, to pretty much.
Like it's there's not a lot of enemies as we go to save the animals and get the power bombs. It's pretty chill.
It looked like Nacho was trying to shoot the block and then accidentally shot diagonally, opening the hatch and then jumping right back through the door he entered.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, it happens.
I have done that.
That's the thing. We see these things and we understand that because all of us runners have probably made the same mistake once or twice playing this game.
Sometimes when I practice, or when I used to practice that room, I would start doing that like 5 times in a row because like my inputs were drifting. Like I was just doing it a little weird from doing it so much in a row. And so I would just like over and over just go back through the door.
Mm-hmm. All right, here it is, the spot that Nacho died at previous, but he's got 299 health. So he can tank all of these hits. He can even run into that darn thing a few times.
That's how I deal with the eye-door beams there. Instead of bumping into the eye-door, you just jump up a bit and then hold right, and you'll like bounce off the beam and then land back in front of it, so you still get the flare shot.
All right, so we have a nice, good flare shot here against Saris. Let's see if Nacho can two-phase this. He gets the right pattern. Oh, just a tad bit early.
Close.
That arch is hard to hit. A lot of runners will... Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so this becomes a 4 shot.
That is unlucky. I think he was just slightly early and then slightly late.
All right, he gets another opportunity at arch. There we go. That was a little close, but Metroll not going for the Shine Spark strat, but getting the extra missile early. Okay.
It is slower to get that missile early because if you get it on the way out, it's something like a 4.5-second missile. And most other missiles are like 5+ seconds to grab. So that's actually one of the fastest ones that you can grab.
Yeah.
So the animals one, surprisingly.
Yeah, those in chat, if you want to save time, you get the missile after you free the animals that Metroll did now, and then you could just
He's
shoot
just
some
got
blocks
good
to your right.
animals.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm genuinely jealous there. Good animal.
Not perfect, but
Oh,
yeah.
what we
Pretty
call
good.
perfect animals, or at least what I call it, god tier animals. You'll know because all 3 of the Etacoons will line up instantly.
Yep.
To answer your question in the chat, Ku59, no, they're not running different routes. They might get a few items differently, but the general route is very linear in Metroid Fusion. So the runners are doing pretty much the same thing. The main reason there's such a big difference in location is simply just because Nacho died earlier in the race, so he's resetting.
Hi, Ronald.
Ronald Rage, fellow runner and admin, also be in this Metroid Fusion tournament, has joined the chat. Seeing a lot of familiar faces. Hello to everyone in the chat. Hopefully this race again, just a little bit of some knowledge about future races because we want to promo our runners while we're going through a relatively quiet part of the run here. So I'm going to check our Discord real quick just to give you all that information. If you want to see more races, here we go. I'm going to give you the schedule. All right. Today is the 20th, so we have the race of Metroll versus Nacho. On the 22nd, we have 2 races, Greggy versus Hedgechild at 3 p.m. Eastern, and then Schmade versus myself
That's not a
at 4
speed
p.m.
boost,
Eastern.
Nacho.
Oh, I saw
He opted to get this missile for fun, I think, and then he just didn't go back far enough left to get the speed boost out of the right. You have to go through the door transition on the left to get it.
Oh no! I was just watching. I was a little behind on the VOD there, watching that gold crab just take forever to orbit. Ugh.
Oh.
All
Yeah,
right, so
that's fun time loss.
Metroll is back in lower 5, or not lower 5, sector 5 to get the power bombs. Nacho is leaving 4 to go to sector 3.
Yep. Oh. Metroll going top route here. It is
Okay.
slightly faster to go bottom route. Once you have the yellow doors open. So here, we do want to watch Metroll's health again because, oh, he just got a red X from the waiver. Never mind.
Speak? Yeah, you literally jinxed it.
All right.
Wow, wonderful. Well, to
what
be
I was
fair,
going to say
yes.
was that the SAX does a lot of damage if you get hit by the ice beam a couple times, like a lot. So the fact that he got that red X there is pretty huge. Unless, of course, he doesn't get hit.
All right, here we go. We're locking in for the 3rd SAX encounter. Let's see how Metroll handles this room. All right, setting a little bit of a late power bomb. Not bad. Perfect. Gets out of there.
So normally in this room, you can get a red X if you want to. Getting a power bomb tank, which is very interesting.
Yeah. Wait, what happened there? On Nacho's screen.
I'm not sure. That was extremely odd.
Sometimes, Baria, when I'm playing randomizer, you know the garbage chute in lower 3, right? If you spark right up against those blocks, you're not going to, continue through. So
as far as I know, that only applies to vertical shine sparks.
So that's interesting. I've never seen that happen.
That can also happen in Hundo after you do Kago Spark and you go for the second item. If you unmorph and instantly spark, you'll bonk against the ceiling, which are speed blocks, even though you shine sparked because you're too close to them. But
interesting mechanics of this game.
I'm really not sure what happened with Nacho there. I'm like curious now. So Metroll's now on the way to the ship. We're out of here. We're going to the ship.
All right, Nacho now approaching box. I wonder with the 2 energy tanks if Nacho's going to go for a charge beam ladder strat or if Nacho goes for a quick box kill. I don't know what Nacho does here. It's been a minute since I've seen his runs at this point. To be honest, he only has 205 health, so unless he knows how to take advantage of the iframes that the box does to do damage, there's going to be a little bit of a difference.
All right, so Metroll's gonna have the power shut off in the elevator. Make his way over to the ship. And we'll see how the Yakuza fight goes. Nacho making pretty quick work of box.
There you go. And he has at least 3 missiles, which is the amount that you're going to want.
Okay, Metroll got the speed boost out. You don't have to speed boost out of there, but I think he was just trying to not take damage from the spitters.
Now, those enemies are... Thunder and I were talking about this on yesterday's race. Those enemies do a lot of damage, especially on 1%. They can kill the run very quickly.
Oh, yeah. They are brutal.
All right, so Metroll is now going to heal up, has 50 missiles, 12 power bombs, and does a safety save in the ship. All right. Whether this was a purposeful or accidental save for the Yakuza split here, one thing that's very interesting to note with Yakuza is if you die here, right? And I've done this before on one of my runs. Many runners might forget that they have to still talk to Adam because the save in this instance happens before you talk to Adam. It's the only instance where these conversations happen because it's not a separate save room. So hopefully that doesn't happen to Metroll, so that issue won't happen. Actually, as a matter of fact, Thunder is in the chat. He can attest when we did our 2 players, 1 controller run, that was actually a mistake we made. So
yeah, so basically if you save there and you die and you respawn there, you will have to like leave the ship and then go back into it. Like you'll have to like go out of the beam and then you have to enter the ship again because the Adam conversation has not happened yet in the save.
Metroll opting to skip the missiles, but again, Metroll already has 50, so there's no need to get any more missiles at this point if he doesn't want to. Gets 0 beams here, and I do apologize, runners. I have stopped paying attention to the beam RNG, so if someone in the chat has,
I don't think any of those opening missiles hit for Metroll there.
I don't think so either,
because too far left.
I didn't hear any of the... Oh, wow! Oh, runners are... I'm... Metroll, I'm gonna need to get some of that good luck you got rocking there. That is some really good. Let's see if he gets another quick open. Oh, love to see it. Oh, almost had it.
He has to go again because of the opener. Yeah.
That's the only problem.
It's not taking too much damage though.
That's true. It's good that Metroll knows how to shake out of Yakuza's grip.
Yeah.
I think that was only 4 rounds.
2 and 2, I think.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was 5. It was 1, 2, and 2. Wonderful. All right. The one thing Metroll has to worry about here is the missile count. You don't want to die. You don't want to miss too many missiles because then you have to use charge beam, which is possible, of course, but less optimal. So we'll see. Yakuza is now red. It'll be close.
The low percent fight is really fun because you have to use charge beam so much. I think this phase with charge beam is a lot of fun to optimize.
Is it? It's terrifying for me. On the 1% run I did, I think I died to 2 times.
Yeah, because you have like just enough time, or a little more than just enough to like get a charge between like each time it bounces. Yeah. So your goal is to like run back and forth, avoid getting hit, and get 1 charge shot in per bounce. So it's pretty fun. I like the 1%, or like just any low percent loadout, be it rando or 1%.
Yakuza defeated, and Nacho gets out of the SAX's grasp.
So
Damage
Metroll
free?
saving there is pretty big for him because that means Nacho would have to get to Yakuza before Metroll dies or finishes.
Yes, that has to happen. The difference between the runners is still roughly 20 minutes. So what is Metroll's PB? 130? So theoretically, it's still possible for Nacho to pull this off if Metroll dies on the final split or around Ridley, because then the times would be very close to each other. So if a death happens at, say, Nightmare or Notori, it's probably still going to be in Metroll's favor by a good amount of time. Oh, don't you love this tunnel?
Yeah. So the Vine Room is a tricky one.
Nice doubles
Even
by
knowing-
Nacho.
Even knowing like a good strat for it, it's so hard to be consistent in.
Great fight by Nacho against the beach ball fight here. Again, the mega core, excuse me. About to call it a boss that it's definitely not.
I feel like I actually call it Varia Core the most. I'm pretty
Varia
sure
Core
that's what I
works.
say.
I mean, to be fair, that's very accurate. Come to think of it, there are a lot of enemies that have Omega in their name. You have Omega Metroids. You have the Omega Pirate in Prime. You have Omega Ridley in Prime 3. I'm sure there's more.
Those games aren't real.
What? Oh, no, you can't say something controversial on a Metroid stream like that. The Prime games aren't...
I don't think
what-
it's
Oh,
controversial.
no!
Hope that helps. Sorry, Prime.
You're about to get...
fans,
You're
I'm
about to
just
get
kidding.
a lot of people with pitchforks on your stream.
Well,
All right, let's see how Metroll handles this. Does the power bomb? Does charge the beam here? Okay,
looks
so
like
that's...
he doesn't know about the safe spot, but he gets through it anyways without falling in.
And the power bomb usage here is definitely going to help. So we're not worried too much.
The
Notori is a hard boss to die to.
yeah.
Nacho is now leaving 3 or 6, excuse me. Going to Sector 5. Oh, same framed it right as it was opening its eye. There you go. Now, the best beam in the game, Plasma, is acquired.
I think I agree with that.
I mean it less in terms of favoritism and more in terms of just sheer power.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm open for debate, though, on that.
Except for Ridley, though.
Yeah, because at that
Ridley-
point, Wave and Plasma together.
For whatever reason, Ridley is considered a wall, meaning that the wave beam like pierces him completely. I mean, I know it pierces enemies, but it actually does more damage to Ridley for some reason. Just, I guess, for balancing reasons.
It's interesting how that all works. And I know a few runners have mentioned this before. Why is it that Fusion and Dread break the formula? In most Metroid games, Plasma is final. It's after Wave Beam. But in this game and in Dread, you get the Plasma before the Wave Beam.
I think it's just because of the gates.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Honestly, it's gates. It's the one-way gates. We don't have the luxury in Fusion like in Super where you could manipulate a Super and hit it just right against the gate to open it from behind. All right, so now we have Nacho going in. I believe this is his, first visit in Sector 5. And this is Metroll's third visit. Gotta love Sector 5. You go into Sector 5 so very often. In any percent, you go 3 times. In 100%, you 4 times. So if you hate Sector 5, I apologize. You gotta deal with it a lot. Let's see if Nacho can handle the scam pattern that Metroll was having some trouble with. All right, doesn't even get the bad pattern there, so that works. All right, so now we're going again for Sector 5. Metroll is going to go into the room, and now the Metroid, or the giant glass room, is broken. Because Nightmare, the creature that was harassing us on the second visit and a little bit on the first visit, has broken through. And now part of Sector 5 is flooded. So now we have to kill Nightmare. That is the plan here. On Nacho's side, he just got the yellow security doors, so now he wants to get the ice missiles. I don't think we'll be seeing a high five. Wow, I'm surprised that plasma charge shot killed that pirate. It looked like it was indirect, but again, plasma is very strong.
Per frame.
Yep.
See, so what do we know about Nightmare?
Not RNG. A lot of people might think Nightmare is RNG. There are a few things you want to do about Nightmare that'll really, really help. First things first, when you're in this room that Metroll is in, exit facing right. Don't face left, face right. All right?
He might face left. I think he did.
Oh, he did face left. All right, so Metroll's probably going to have a pattern that actually is a little harder to predict. If you face right and kill the phase fast, or the first phase fast, you're always going to get a low counterclockwise pattern when Nightmare starts to follow you, which is ideal. Let's see how Metroll handles this. Again, the good news is that even if Metroll gets a suboptimal pattern, he's got so many energy tanks to work with, it should be fine.
Yeah,
all right, first phase done.
Off the ladder. He's a little high. Yeah. It's okay though. Either way, he'll have to do 2 rounds, so it should be fine. That's a good way to save it.
Yeah. All right. Oh, a little high. Oh, I love this. Are those R shots? Yes, they are.
He did hit one, yeah.
Love what I'm seeing here.
If he can just get it to stop low, what he's doing right now is trying to get it to stop, but he's a little high.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's a little high, Nightmare is going to be a little high. Should stop.
Oh, I thought it was going to stop there after one follow.
This is starting to get a little scary, but we should be good.
Perfect. And again, those energy tanks, those safety tanks, we're bringing them up. It's really, really smart to have those.
Yep. That's one thing that makes this game really accessible to start out, is that there's so many energy tanks that it's easy to just sit down and beat the game, even if you're not going fast on your first runs or whatever.
Yeah.
It's very easy to be able to play the whole game because it just throws energy tanks at you if you want them.
Absolutely. So that's the thing. If there's anyone in chat who wants to run this game, whether it's casually or you really want to do so competitively, don't feel bad if you're grabbing a lot of items. Nacho's not grabbing a lot of energy tanks, but he's a bit more of a seasoned runner than Metroll is in Metroid Fusion, so he's more used to not having to grab them. But there's nothing wrong with inherently grabbing 7 or 8 or even 9, because, again, getting through the game early on is more important. Once you start learning the route and you're better with enemy placement, then you can confidently start taking away an energy tank. Oh, maybe I don't need this one. Maybe I don't need that. And those alone start giving you massive time save opportunities. So.
Let's see. Metroll's making his way towards the red security, level 4 locks. Excuse me. This is one of my favorite segments. There's very little RNG on this segment. It's just purely how good is your movement.
That's very true.
And the movement's a lot of fun.
All right, Nacho now entering the boiler room while Metroll enters the maze above red doors. Metroll's got to be careful here because, again, no RNG, but the Skull Terras, those fish, They do a
Yeah.
lot of damage.
Yes, they do. Oh,
Right
he
there.
tried to kill that one, but his
And-
beam went to hit it right as it turned into a big Skullterra.
I
So
think
it didn't
Nacho
take
missed
any
a
damage.
double there. Let's see if he can hit it. Okay, so Nacho didn't hit any fight. Can he sweet spot the core? Close. Got a 421. And now he has wide beam.
So we're coming up on some rooms for Metroll where the enemies are continuing to just hit really hard. So hopefully you can navigate through nice and carefully. There's going to be 2 swimming pirates here. There's one. And then this next room, it has an Ever and a couple Skullterras in the way. These are hard to avoid. He may just kill them. Yep.
Oh, interesting freeze there on the Nova by Nacho, as Metroll now enters one of the more complex rooms in lower 4. There we go.
Yeah, there's an interesting thing you can do in that room that he's in right now is if you place a power bomb after that first morph tunnel, it interrupts the patterns of these snails that are firing boomerangs. And when you get to the top right of the room, if you fire off that power bomb earlier in the room, it won't be in your way and you won't get hit by a boomerang. Just by chance, like doing that actually helps. Ooh, the PAL amps hit hard too.
Yep.
Oh,
I think he's trying to jump in. I see what he was trying to do.
I've done that before too. I've done that.
That's the thing. You want to just keep moving fast sometimes, so you keep attempting to do the same thing. All right, Metroll now about to get the final missile expansion, or missile upgrade, I should say. Nacho now leaving Sector 3 a second time. Nacho will now be going to get animals.
So Metroll should really refill here, leaving 4.
Let's see if he does.
Xbox, there's no Red X on the way. There's no Ghidorah. There's no Idor. So you don't get a refill from the Red X. There is a refill you get from Blue X earlier before Xbox, but it's not a full one. You only get a few energy tanks back.
All right, smart refill.
Going to opt for the refill.
Smart refill indeed.
Xbox does a lot of damage, and the beams that the Xbox core, the wave beam core, is firing does 80-something damage. So I've actually died in a race before versus Ronald in the 2023 any% tournament to that core because the beams are a little tricky to avoid, and I got hit by 2 of them and it was over.
Yeah, and again, any percent will do that. That's not normally something you hear about in a hundo. 13 energy tanks, but in something like this, again, a lot of higher skill runners will only run 2 or 3 energy tanks, and so they're more vulnerable to misplays that, yes, they may not do because they're better runners, but when they do happen, it could quickly end a run like that.
Yep.
All right, so Ronald now going to, or not Ronald, excuse me, Nacho. We were talking about Ronald.
Yeah.
Nacho is now going into the animal habitation deck, while Metroll enters Sector 6 for a second time. Let's see how Nacho handles these double stretchies. All right, does his basic simple strat, gets through and out really easily, and does the door fix, which of course makes Thunder very happy.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait,
nice
door fix? Oh,
nice speed keep. Oh, I see. Yeah,
else.
They both had a door fix coming up, so Nacho frees the animals with a decent segment, while Metroll is now heading into the Blue X room that Vario was talking about earlier. Most runners would just refuel with the Blue X in this room. All right, so now we have, let's see here, 306 health for Nacho, but again, he's not in a highly dangerous route yet until the third encounter with the SAX. Metroll coming in on lower 6. Get the warning. All right, let's see how he handles this. A lot of people do it a different way. Ooh, Barry, are we going to see something? The pattern's not ideal. I thought we were going to see snap onto the frozen menu. It looked to happen.
Yeah, that's a good strat. One thing that's nice about that strat too is even if you don't execute it very fast, the menu actually just moves towards you, and it like you can still just hit the shot. So like the pattern, or not pattern, but like the enemy placement based on your speed doesn't really matter. It's like still in the way.
Yeah, it's no harm to attempt it, even if you fail. No major harm.
Or if you're a little slow in the room, you can still do it. So Xbox
one thing that's
a little tricky. That's a good lineup.
Something that runners may not notice is that Xbox jumps a little higher in this fight compared to Box, the first phase of the fight. So even though Metroll is agreeably a good distance away, because the Xbox is jumping higher, he's also jumping further. And as a result, your distance is usually not ideal. Normally what runners have to do is they have to shoot a little close, and then as Xbox prepares to jump, they have to walk slightly on the ladder, or climb the ladder, excuse me, a little further away to avoid getting hit. And Metroll survives, and Nacho has cleared animals going into Sector 5's revisit. So, Bari, this is what we were discussing near Yakuza. It's if Metroll dies from now through Ridley, this race all of a sudden becomes extremely close.
Yeah. He could also, I mean, anybody could die to SAX as well.
That too, exactly. So that's why we always say, you got to do the race, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even if your time is much better or worse than someone else's, because you never know. Whoop. All right, Metroll, do us all a favor and line up the Metroids. 1 for me and 2 just to irk Baria.
Let's go.
It doesn't line up the Metroids. Oh.
Yeah, you can opt to lose some time by jumping through that door, and it will line up those 3 little Metroids at the bottom of the room. They'll just like be stacked on top of each other, but who wants to lose time? Well, several of our runners, for some reason, like to lose time to lining up the Metroids, but could not ever be me. It's kind of a joke that we have. I mean, they do lose time lining up the Metroids, but it's a very small amount.
If you want to be optimal, you probably shouldn't line up the Metroids. But if you want to meme, hey, why not, you know?
It's a very small time loss. Also, if you jump partway through the door, nobody ever seems to do this, but if you jump a little less high, you'll line up 2 of the Metroids.
Which is halfway cool, I would believe. You know, it's admirable for the attempt. But that's right. And I believe it saves, you lose less time because you're not in the air for as long.
Right.
So
if you want to run this game and be unique, just line up 2 of the Metroids. Alright, so we're heading into lower Sector 1 here. The only real challenge is the Golden Pirates before we get to Ridley. The Golden Pirates can be tricky and they hit hard, but other than that, getting to Ridley is pretty safe, the route. Oh, looks like he missed his missile there.
I see, so...
I think he was running forward when he shot it, and it just kind of goes a little too far.
Definitely can happen. Let's see now if Metroll goes for the double pirates. I believe he does. All right. Oh, almost got the double. I guess one Genesis dead just yet. This is what Barry was talking about, though. Several energy tanks were already shred from Metroll in this room alone. So, again, there is an energy tank here that's, or not energy tank. There's a refill here of 4 energy tanks that Metroll can grab. Let's see if he does it. Most runners will. Ah, gets the 0
That's really
beams too.
Get the red
Alright.
X.
A loud screaming lizard. Oh wait, Ridley's on the screen on both runners. Up.
Loud screaming lizard indeed. Oh yeah.
For a brief moment, we saw Ridley twice. That was pretty cool.
So for Ridley, our main source of damage output is the charge beam. With wave plasma, it's going to do a ton of damage to Ridley versus missiles. I believe it takes 100 missiles if you don't use charge beam, and it takes minimum 11 charge shots. So that's with 1 missile after each charge shot, though.
All right. Last power up. Well, second to last if you count the ice beam in the final fight. But Metroll is now officially in the final split of the game. We're watching Nacho now enter the gauntlet himself.
So this is what we mean. So if Metroll were to die to the SAX or get the soft lock, or the Omega Metroid, then he would just be behind Nacho by like 5 minutes or something.
So if you're in Nacho's position, Nacho really wants the SAX to give Metroll a hard time or a chance in this race. And again, all Metroll has to do is just not die. The difference between the runners is again true. That's actually accurate. There's a problem with the SAX fight that happens on very rare occasion. You can kill a run where the SAX just gets soft locked, where it essentially, if you kill it a certain way, or if you move into a certain phase of the fight a certain way, the SAX becomes invulnerable to all attacks. Yeah. Listen, we love Metroid Fusion, but it doesn't make us the smartest people. Yeah, very true story.
I've never had it happen to me. Have you?
It's happened to me, but not in a race. But it's happened to me on a randomizer once and in a fusion run once.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's why whenever I'm playing randomizer, I always say in a run, you just kind of take the... Since it's such a rare occurrence anyway.
I believe it happened to Scotty on record pace before. I forget which category it was. I want to say it was any percent, but there's a video of him being ahead by like an obscene amount and just getting the soft lock. I don't know what category.
I would probably retire from the game if that happened. That seems extremely painful. While Metroll goes through this very long dialogue, Nacho having a very similar encounter to Yakuza that Metroll did, but actually hitting that double, which is really nice. Nacho didn't really have a lot of missiles, so he opted to use the charge beam for that final phase. Hits 2 really good doubles against Yakuza. Now we could push forward with Space Jump. All right, so now Nacho is entering part 2 of the gauntlet. For those who don't know, the gauntlet is the 3-segment run, or the 3-segment part of this run, a segment, if you will, that contains Yakuza, Notori, and Nightmare. They all occur relatively quick to each other. I don't know why it's called that way, but I do agree it is kind of the hardest part of the run, at least for any percent, because so much is happening so quick. And there is a lot of time that can be lost and gained on these splits.
Why don't we extend that to Xbox?
I'm not against it. I have no clue. But I'm not against adding Xbox and Diffusion to the gauntlet, because to be fair, Diffusion is a very high skill segment. So, you know what?
Then you got Ridley. I don't know. To me, like the whole end game goes together.
That's fair.
I guess it's because you get a little bit of a break with diffusion, but like you still have to like move perfectly.
Yeah. I think it's just it's just the rapid fire of the bosses. Yakuza, Notori, and Nightmare relatively close to each other. All right, Metroll now on the final stretch. Gets the space boost here. Knows about the shortcut at least. Love to see it. Nacho gets a beam on the door, runs into the door. Just all right, so Metroll not going for the save here. Odds are most runners won't. Checks the map real quick. No harm in doing that. Want to make sure you're going into the right room, which Metroll is. So Metroll now going into the operations deck, where the final fight will occur. Nacho having a relatively smooth fight here against Notori. As long as you have missiles here, that's what you want. All right, let's see how Metroll handles the SAX.
Yep. The SAX, you can stun lock it. If you don't manage to do it, it does a lot of damage.
Yes, it does.
So we'll see if he goes for any sort of stun lock here. This is a pretty safe way to fight it, actually. This is how I used to fight it casually, is you just kind of jump over it and charge shot it over and over, and
there you go.
It folds pretty quickly.
Let's see how many shots it takes on the second phase. All right, 4 shots here. All right, so now Metroll now on the final core. Takes 6 missiles here, or 3 doubles. But going for the safe strat of just trapping the core here. It's a nice exploit that you could do with the few core Beam X.
Yep.
I actually love how this is a thing with the Beam Core X specifically.
I used to fight it just like that as well. It's just perfectly safe. That core, the beam does like 140 something damage. Like it hits really hard. I've
That's the
definitely
thing.
died multiple times to the core there going for doubles because I just have less energy. And if you're just like messing up a little bit, that beam does so much. But looks like as long as the Omega goes okay, Metroll's gonna take this. And it's definitely well earned.
Looking at this race, the winner of this race, if it continues to be where the current pace is going, would be Metroll, would have the honor of playing none other than Monkey SMB. It's an honor to be able to race Monkey, by the way.
If I win my race, I have to play Monkey as well.
Oh, Metroll hits the swag spark, or what many
Wow.
people call the low height. Look at that. Lovely.
So that is a pixel perfect shine spark. It saves like a couple seconds, and it gives you a free sweet spot on the ice core here.
Goated spark by Metroll, and like Baria said, it may not be noticeable, but that blue X will be available a little earlier than blue because of the way Metroll entered this room.
Yep.
All right, here it comes.
Yeah, see, it just pops into existence like instantly. Oh no, why? I guess he doesn't know the stun lock.
All right, he's got 7 more shots. And as long as he avoids...
This should be fine, but there is a strat that is extremely free once you know how to do it, where you just stun lock the Omega, and I think it's gotta be. Yeah,
there you go.
He did it. But yeah, you can stun lock it, but that's gonna be a win for Metroll here.
All right. Metroll will win the race. Congratulations, Metroll, for advancing to the next round of the tournament. And again, those in chat, every racer here gets a second chance. So Nacho will get another opportunity to finish this race as well. Or not just finish the race, but also at least move on into the in the tournament. Nacho will just be pushed into the lower bracket and have to fight his way out. The lower bracket, of course, will be filled as more of these first round races get filled in. So that'll be something we see.
See, we gotta invite Metroll here.
In the meantime, Nacho is fighting the Nightmare here, as you can see, having a really good, at least first phase. See how he sets up with the actual second phase. Looks good. Gets a mid pattern here. The manip's a little questionable, but actually gets a decent position. Taking a bit of some damage, but should be able to, there you go, quickly move into the core phase of the fight. As long as you get a mid or lower pattern, you should be good. Congratulations again to both runners. And again, you both will continue to play in this tournament. While we're setting up Metroll to join the chat, just again, we do have more races coming up. We have 2 scheduled for Tuesday, but some of these races still haven't been scheduled just yet. So if you want to know more information or just want to be notified when these races go live, again, subscribe to the Speed Gaming channels, not just this one, but do it for Speed Gaming 2, 3, 4, all that. And also, if you're a big fan of Metroid Fusion, join the Discord channel, because we will let you all know when these races go up. You can take a look at the Metroid Fusion Any Percent tournament schedule, and I'll send that link in the Speed Gaming chat right here. That is the link. You can look at that, and you can see the schedule of the racers. If there's any particular runner you may want to see, you can easily bookmark and set up for when that stream happens. Be sure to check that page as the days go on, because once we go into the day of the race, we'll know which specific Speed Gaming channel will be on that specific race. So. Nacho with some low health in lower 4. Again, this is one of those tougher parts that we were talking about earlier. These enemies do a lot of damage. So he gets the red doors. As long as he doesn't get hit by a Skullterra twice or a Pirate twice. I believe the Aqua Pirate, he can survive 2 health. Okay, he's going to go for a Power Bomb to kill the Sizers to get a sizable amount of health here. And that should definitely allow him to tank an extra hit or 2 from the enemies just in case. Yeah, yes, of course, Thunder. Not trying to do self-promo, but yes, I will race Schmade on Tuesday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Greggy will race Hedgechild at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. And that is Tuesday, July 22nd. We then have a Thursday race at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where Baria, I co-host here, will race against Hercules Bench Press. And then on the following Friday, Destructor races Big Ohm. And on the following Saturday, Destructor will... do we have 2 Destructor races here? Oh, that's interesting.
We're running round 1 concurrent to round 2.
I see.
There are so many buys.
I see. So that'll help to fill in some of the buys. All right. Well, there you go. So you'll have those set on up. All right. Nacho gets through. He still has low health. Got to be careful with the POW amps.
I did invite Metroll. Looks like they're both in the
Yep, they're both here.
channel.
Yeah. So we can bring them in if we'd like, and they could both talk about their experience in the race. All right.
Hello, GG's.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe how it went out.
You did it.
There you go. Hello, everyone. Chat. Good
Fine.
job to both of you, and congratulations, Metroll, on the win. How are you both feeling about the race?
Well,
Well,
I have words.
Well, we want to hear from both of you. Whoever wants to go first.
my opponent can go
I'll have
ahead
the
if you want.
The winner can go first. I'm still finishing this run out.
All right. So I thought I was gonna die when I got to wide beam. Gave me flashbacks to one of the weekly races where I actually didn't grab the Umbredex and I died.
Ah.
Yeah,
It didn't happen.
that room was intense to watch.
Yeah, we were definitely on the edge of our seats during the emergency segment. We were watching with very close, like we were
I was very
shivering.
close to watching.
Yeah.
It's good that you got out of that, though. Any other troublesome parts in that race that you particularly were struggling with?
Zazabi because I had 7 missiles and yeah, I couldn't kill him quickly.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
That's right. That's another thing too. Baria was mentioning that it's not a peak counter for Zazabi, it's a hit counter. You got to hit it a certain few times when its maw opens up. I noticed both of you were having a little bit of trouble with some missiles down the line, so you had to revert to charge beam. Obviously, that happens sometimes. But Nacho, I wanted to ask. So, what was the situation that happened for the first visit? Was it did you run? You ran into the eye door, right? Is that what happened?
See, the thing is, I didn't even notice I hit the eye door.
Ah,
So
Yeah.
I got the 2 beams. Right, and what I usually do is that I move into the beam to kind of tank the damage for the beam, but still be close enough for the open.
mm-hmm.
Right.
But apparently I moved too close and I hit the so I didn't notice that until I saw that I had 2 health left, and then I'm like, oh my god, and then it gave me a 3rd beam, so I got so mad I even threw my controller for like. Because I haven't died to eye door in so long.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Like that one hurt.
I thought that's what happened because it looked like the second time you were doing exactly what you said. You just kind of tank the damage at the top of the beam and hold right so you're close to it. But
and then I ran into the eye door on purpose at plasma, just kind of for fun there.
yeah,
I'm actually upset. Flash didn't notice that I went into the recharge room in Sector 2.
I actually didn't notice that. I apologize for not catching that. Yes,
recharge.
a common joke in the Metroid community is apparently there's a recharge room that doesn't exist, but I'm promising you now, everyone, there's a recharge room above Notori in lower Sector 2. It's hidden off the map, but it is there. It's really hard to notice. It's a lot of people will never know it's there unless they actually play through it. You have to know if you want to play Mappo, which is a category that like 3 people play, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Do a map tournament.
I will not participate.
Nope.
In the meantime, all right. So you both obviously are going to have another round in the tournament. So obviously it's not over for either of you, Nacho or Metroll. You both are going to continue to race on through. Is there anything you two are looking forward to in the next round, or are you just happy to kind of get the first race down and just kind of let things relax for a bit?
If I could have PB'd twice in a row, that would have been even cooler.
Ah, yeah.
True.
Yeah, so by the way, I was plus 27 at high jump, and then I went to a -8 after that, and I saved 40 seconds on Saris.
There you go.
I
Yeah.
noticed that.
Mhm,
you
we
were
noticed the
up
red-
your speed.
Yeah.
I was checking your timer once in a while, your splits.
Yeah.
Plenty of opportunity there for some nice time save. Looking forward to that. And hey, if you're in a race, it feels extra special because there were no resets, plus a lot of people are watching all at once. So it's just a cool experience when that happens. So hoping it happens, it's amazing. I've never had a PB during a race, but I think it would be a wonderful experience. I was close once. So
The other
It's
thing
a
I wanna
great
say-
time. It's a
The
great
reason
feeling.
the reason it appeared for me to start with is because apparently Live Split didn't do the -15 to countdown. And I don't know what's been happening because it's been happening a lot.
I see.
Oh, do you join the race room through live split or through the link?
I joined it through Live Split.
That's
Hmm.
strange.
I don't know. I mean, I got it to Lark last time. Still, anyway, it doesn't matter because I can't even believe how the match actually turned out. I was not expecting to win, by the way. I was prepared. Oh, I'm going to lose hard.
I didn't know our PBs were so far apart. I thought you were like 2 minutes within mine. I must have looked at somebody else's instead.
Yeah, I had like a 130, and then a sub 130 right before the race.
Sub 130 though, that's a big milestone.
That's true. The 1-2x is big, and then once you get the sub 1-2x, it's going to be wonderful. Take it from Baria and myself when we first started. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, is there anything else you guys want to say about your runs? Anything that you liked about them? Anything you didn't like?
My Zazabi the second time around was way better than my first.
Yeah, notice that.
Sarah's not so much, but that was whatever. But I had the restream up while I was with the audio, because I was so far behind. I'm like, yeah, it's whatever. So like I heard I was probably just a little too early.
Let's see
For what?
here.
For Saris for the
yeah.
for the two phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shot was like, the shot looked good, but it was like it went through Saris's head instead of into it.
I believe you both had 4 rounds on Saris there, so I believe so. Because the charge beam, it's a little tricky with the charge beam if you don't connect the flare immediately against the head. It looks like it, but sometimes you'll be off by just a tad bit, and then all of a sudden you got to wait for Saris to zoom around again for another 10 seconds, and it could take
Sometimes
some time.
It really feels like you get scammed at Saris just because of that.
But according to my splits, I have 2 golds. I don't know how real they are because I skipped and did different items than I usually do. So I'm probably not going to save any of these. Like I went for the Sector 4 missile tank for fun. I didn't get I skipped some energy tanks. I only have 4 instead of my usual 5.
I saw you go for that Sector 4 missile tank. I specifically said, I believe he's getting this for fun.
Yeah. It's like I haven't done 45 in a while, and so I'm not used to doing the end bosses at 45. And I'm like, oh, if I speed boost through, it's not as slow, but then I mess up the exit. So
yeah, if you play Hundo, you'll find out you have to go through that transition on the left.
yeah, I forgot about the transition. Is the space for it?
Yeah.
So do both of you runners prioritize 50 then on your main route?
I've been doing 50, but maybe I used to do like 60. I also used to do like 9 tanks, but been doing 7.
Okay,
I did 8 this time.
Yeah, I usually do 5 E tanks and 50 missiles. My last pickups are going into Yakuza.
It tends to be a lot of runners' last pickup. If they don't grab that last E tank, they'll grab the last missile tank in the same room, or the room right after, I should say.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't know that I can keep going in the race. I just assumed that I died and it was over.
Oh yeah, you can definitely keep playing. Just
so I could have
if your opponent dies or whatever.
Yeah,
and I was watching very closely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had an instance, I think, in the 100 runner, but both of them died at separate times, and neither of them DNF'd after the death, so they both just played again. So it happens. Obviously, it's a little discouraging because it is live when it does happen, but, it's good that you're able to power through and get into the run. And, hey, if you're getting golds, even if you're not saving them, clearly you're doing something right with the movement on the second run, so don't let that get you down there. By the way, Nacho is in the final split as he is chatting with us. There will be one last fight against the SAX. Our restream's probably a little behind of what Nacho's actually seeing. But yes, there will be one final fight, and then once the Omega Metroid is defeated, we'll wrap things up here on Speed Gaming.
Yeah, we should have plenty of time. Looks like
Absolutely.
this channel won't be used until 10 p.m.
Exact,
Eastern,
perfect.
So we got.
That's literally that's a Hundo Fusion run. Not that we're gonna do that. Don't worry. Hundo was last year. We'll worry
Not
about
just like,
Hundo.
oh, I got time. I'm gonna do it.
Oh.
after that.
I'll just go do cleanup real
Or
quick.
not-
Yeah.
No. Wanted to ask you, Metroll, since I know you're somewhat to few. Do you have a time, or are you just kind of playing this for fun to see where you can go?
I'm not sure if I really have a goal because I was I so under prepped and I've been trying to do Dread and
I
like
see.
yeah, and I've been chasing after that 105 for any percent MG, and yeah, let's say when I actually was on pace, it didn't exactly go well. So there you go.
Ah, there you go. And yeah, those are two very different games with how they control. But actively run both at the same time, kudos, because that's definitely impressive. Nacho, do you have a time that you're looking for, or are you also just kind of
I
playing?
mean, my goal is still the 120,
the 120. Okay,
but
close.
I was hoping I could PB here, but I don't know how far behind I started whenever when I unforfeited because my life took over the race room time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to follow that. I forget when your reset happened to. I think it was roughly around 30 minutes, so it's close. I don't know where this time will measure up. By the way, as Nacho is climbing up again, their final fight will be in the SAX room. We'll see how Nacho handles the fight with the SAX core, if there's going to be a more traditional fight, or if the hit stun's going to happen here. Well, not the hit stun, what do you call that, Baria? My brain.
Stunlock.
Stunlock, there we go. Stunlock, close enough.
Well, I'll let y'all
The Smash
see.
Brothers. There we go. All right, perfect. All right, let's watch and see how this fight goes. Charges up to the fusion. And freezes the SAX. 1, 2, 3. Oh, gets hit by the charge beam. 4. Oh, so close.
Oh my gosh.
Oop.
Oh.
Oh.
This is
Very-
what I was talking about earlier. The SAX does a lot of damage.
Yep.
Yeah, I started panicking.
Oh, there you go. You got a few hits there. Something interesting to note, if you were to run 100% and only exclusively use the screw attack to run into the SAX, you would still not kill it. You would
I
die
feel like I
trying.
didn't know that.
Yeah, with 20 energy tanks, if you
Yeah,
got max
yeah.
energy tanks, and because you take damage when you screw attack into the SAX, you would actually not die, or you would not kill it, and you would die in the process. So if you're watching at home,
I don't
don't
know
try
how
to screw
much it
attack the
does.
SAX. Just ice beam it. And if you're able to, freeze it and then ice beam, because it'll increase the amount of damage that's done. I don't know how, but Metroid Fusion works in very interesting ways.
It's true. I mean,
It absolutely does. I think one of you had a very interesting. I think, Baria, what happened? That was very weird that we noticed.
Is it my shine
that's-
spark into
yeah,
level
the shine
2?
Spark, yeah.
That's
Shine
happened to me. That happens to me so often.
Huh.
So I'm
Okay.
used to it. I'm like I expect to see it happen when I do it.
Okay.
I wonder
That's-
if you spark lower, if that would ever happen. I wonder if it's.
I was
just,
told it's because I'm too close to the wall sometimes.
I thought that
but-
was only for vertical sparks, but yeah, that might be it.
But the issue with that sometimes is I do the same. If I do the exact same thing again, I'll go through it. So I feel like it's an input thing, not a.
It probably is. It's probably a very tight thing that just needs
You
to be
could
adjusted.
probably
bit.
avoid it by sparking like in the air further to the right,
Yeah.
if I had to guess.
All right, let's see here. Nacho is going to enter the Omega. Triggers the Omega Metroid. I was about to call it Omega Pirate again. I think my brain yearns for Metroid Prime. I think that's what my brain is just yearning for right now. Well,
I'll
not
never
Dread, not
understand
Fusion.
it, but you
Prime.
know what? I respect it.
All right, here we go. The final fight begins. We'll see where Nacho ends up on his splits. All right, so grabs the core, not on the sweet spot, but still, that is a normal time. Let's see if he gets the stun lock.
Looks good to me.
There we go. And very quick, too, with the stun lock as well. And that is a death.
What?
Sub 156 here.
Oh, sounds like you cut out.
Yeah.
Sub 156 here. Sorry. This is an old microphone I'm using. So that's probably what it is. Congratulations. You finished it. All right. So both runners have.
Sticking it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get it. It's tough sometimes, especially on a live stage, but we appreciate both of you runners finishing the race for sure.
Yeah, I was about to end my stream, and then I heard like I don't know why he's not continuing. Like I didn't know you could do that. So
Yeah. Yep.
It won't hurt to try, even if it is against the runner who's probably years ahead, because all it needs is just one. All you need is just one thing to go your way. All right. So now that race is done, Metroll will move on to the winners round 2 and play Monkey SMB. That race will, of course, be scheduled at a later time.
Fun. I might as well just race see Scotty W if I'm winning. I'm not winning.
I have to race Monkey if I beat Herc as well, and I don't have a chance. I don't have a chance.
Message to Monkey if Monkey is watching the stream. You're going to beat me, I can assure you.
Take it from me and Nacho. We raced Monkey last tournament. We got our behinds handed to us. So
I just had fun with it.
Oh yeah, I had fun too. You know, you accept that you're gonna lose, but you know, you still play the race because, to be fair, when we were Bari and I were doing our practice race in the community on Friday, Monkey died in the race. So you never know. You never know. Upset of the year is always possible.
But yeah, I think the loser of you or Schmade. So
I believe so. According to this bracket, you would play against the loser of match 6, which is indeed me versus Schmade. So my match versus Schmade will be on Tuesday, so we will have that match up figured out shortly. That's the thing. The losers bracket still needs some time. We still need 4 more races to finish before we have a full round of the losers bracket, and then we'll move on from there. So again, before we wrap things up again, let's take a look at the schedule one more time. For those who may not be aware, we have 2 races on the 22nd. That is Tuesday, one at 3 o'clock Eastern, one at 4 o'clock Eastern. Another race on Thursday, one on Friday, and one on Saturday. Be sure to follow all of the Speed Gaming channels so that way you can be notified when these races go live, and also just see a whole bunch of other things. It's not just Metroid here. It's not just Fusion. You can see a lot of cool stuff. Also, if you want, follow the Metroid Fusion Discord. Join the amazing community where there are tips, strat discussion, and randomizer discussion too, if you like that. Is there anything else our 2 racers want to say before we wrap things up here?
No,
this was quite
I'm all good. I'm trying to see what time I started at so I could figure out. Okay.
Oh, so you're doing the math on the splits now?
Yeah. Shit. It's 155. I just hit my hotkey. I was 30 minutes. So I think I was a 120. Was it 125?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like a 125. So
Okay.
not terrible.
There you go.
But
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for us.
Yep.
GG's.
All right. GG's again.
Congrats.
Yep. GG's.
I look forward to seeing your races coming up.
Thanks.
All right. I'm going to sign off. Thank you, Flash, for commentating with me.
Of course, happy to help. Love commentating with you, and for everyone else watching, and for Speed Gaming and the Fusion admins to put this race and tournament together. Thank you all for your help.
All right. Have a good night.